Sections of the legislation and policies which are hampering the growth and the development of small businesses will be changed. Now, this according to the Minister of Business Development, Lindiwe Zulu. However, she says this will take some time as she will be consulting with stakeholders first. The minister maintains that economic growth will come from policies that allow small businesses to thrive. Zulu was addressing the media ahead of her department's budget vote, which will be part of the Department of Trade and Industry's budget vote. Zulu voiced her concerns on the challenges that South Africans face when securing funds to start and run businesses at a pre-budget briefing in Pretoria. She added that her department would pull out all the stops to ensure that small business owners are able to obtain capital from banks. Now, to discuss this further, we joined in studio by Steve Skosana, the Deputy President of the National African Federated Chamber of Commerce and Industry, NAFCOC. Good morning to you and welcome, sir.
Good morning and welcome to your viewers.
Mr. Skosana, just briefly, first and foremostly, tell us, what do you make of the Minister's proposition?
Look, obviously we must start by saying thank you to the President of the country for making this long overdue ministry available. But I think what is important is that the ministry has got a lot of work to do. But if she behaves like small business people, she would find it very easy to do it because she would not have a red tape. Mm-hmm. The speech is positive, and I think the activities that she wants to engage in are really relevant. Mm-hmm.
Now, what are some of the challenges that small business owners normally face when trying to secure capital? Can you allude that to us about more? Or?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is the accessibility mm-hmm. Of the institutions that provide capital. In terms of their locations. If you go in other rural areas, you find the institution is situated 50, 100 kilometers away from the business people. That's number one. And they are understaffed. You queue just to make an inquiry, whether you will get a loan or not. Then once they say, yes, you can get a loan, then you are going to queue for the forms. Once you get the forms, you will then again queue just to have a consultant interviewing you. Then you will be told to draw a business plan, and you will queue just to submit a business plan because all these institutions are really understaffed. I think the ministry's challenge would really be to make sure that there's enough staff and all of these institutions that provide loans are really decentralized, and the powers are also decentralized. Mm-hmm. The ministry should employ professionals that would be able to take sound but quicker decisions. But one of the biggest issues is that there needs to be a general research of business opportunities, so that one can look at the latest research, the latest papers before you take a decision. Because in some cases, the research in business is very old, mm-hmm. And it makes it difficult. So that's one challenge. But then the second challenge is issues related to entrepreneurship themselves. Little entrepreneurship education gets provided in the country. Actually, the ministry should go and lobby all other cabinet members that entrepreneurship should be introduced at the school level, very, very early at a primary level. We cannot have business people who don't know about business. As much as it is compulsory for everybody to go to school in this country, it must be compulsory. Mm-hmm. For business people to learn about business. It should not be by the way, because I'm unemployed, or by the way, because I'm retrenched, then I can start a business. Mm-hmm. We can't build the economy like that.
So it should be entrenched in the educational system?
It should be entrenched in the educational system. Mm-hmm. As much as the other issue that the minister should look at, As much as it is compulsory for lawyers to abide to the Law Society and other professional ethics organizations, business people should belong to an organization that will also have legislated ethics, so that business people should also learn how to do business, but also how to behave in business. Because sometimes business is not destroyed by lack of knowledge, but is destroyed by behavior. People just decide to do corruption or go against the act.
As NAFCOC, Mr. Skosana, which sections of the legislation do you believe should be changed to help improve the growth of small business?
Well, there's quite a number of them. I think there's around 48.
So all of them.
there's around 48, and I can go on and on with the list. There
but
the legislations that health legislations needs to be reviewed. For people who run businesses in the health sector, it's too cumbersome to get into that sector. Construction, the CIDB legislation needs to be reviewed. The Act was aiming at removing the weaknesses in the system, but it actually excluded all small businesses. And that is why we have big issues in the country about the RDP houses falling apart. But the BEE Act needs to be worked in. We are happy that they have now introduced in February the new amendments. But it's not enough to cap what we call fronting. The minister will have to do more on that. The ministry will have to introduce new laws, particularly making business organization and chambers mandatory in the country. It shouldn't be I wish or I don't wish. I mean, business is here to stay. And we need to build the economy through business, and therefore we must legislate on these issues and make sure it's fine. The regulations that has got to do with the introduction of these parastatals, they need to be reviewed. There must be in every act a mandate for the minister or somebody or a commissioner in the ministry's office to intervene if they feel ESCOM, for an example, I don't know why I use the name ESCOM, but if they feel one parastatal is not doing enough to empower small business, then there must be an intervention.
So, in brief, what you are saying is that red tape should be removed in order to promote small businesses.
We must remove it. In fact, if you could do with shortening decision making, you would grow small businesses. Because, you know, something interesting happens in this country that you apply for a loan, and I've never seen a business person who applied for a loan from any institution in the country and got it within 3 months. But after 3 months, the business opportunity is gone. People build B&B houses for 2010, and then they couldn't get proper licenses to operate them. Sure.
Mr. Skosana, I just hope that we had more time because it's a very fascinating discussion, but that's where we got to leave it. Thank you so much for joining here on AM News. That was Steve Skosana, the Deputy President of the National African Federated Chamber of Commerce and Industry, NAFCOC, joining us here.